welcome to Reddy's classes. Hope you all are safe at home. We were studying the language of chemistry. We studied in the last session about the balancing of the chemical equation. Let us see the limitations and what do you mean by chemical equations limitations. Clear? Start. Information which are conveyed by a balanced chemical equation. First of all, let us take the example of a balanced chemical equation. This equation is balanced. CuO plus CO gives Cu plus CO2. Now we have copper oxide. This is copper oxide with carbon monoxide. We have copper and carbon dioxide. What does this balanced chemical equation informs us? A balanced chemical equation tells us about the substance which react and the product formed by the chemical reaction. These two substances reacted with each other, these reactants reacted with each other to form their corresponding product. In the above equation, copper oxide react with carbon monoxide to form copper and carbon dioxide. A balanced chemical equation also tells us about the symbols and the formulas. You can see these are the symbols and the formulas made of all substances involved in a chemical reaction. A balanced chemical equation tells us about the number of atoms, the number of molecules of all substances involved in the chemical reaction. Okay, in the above equation, one molecule of copper react with one molecule of carbon monoxide, one molecule of copper react with one molecule of carbon monoxide to form one atom of copper and one molecule of carbon dioxide. पूरा का पूरा वन के ऊपर ही प्ले हुआ ये. Next, a balanced chemical equation tells us about the mass of all substances involved in the chemical reaction. Here, the above equation tells us that the copper dioxide which is used is 80 grams. This copper dioxide which is used is 80 grams, which react with 28 gram of carbon monoxide with react with 28 grams of carbon monoxide to form 64 gram of copper, 64 gram of copper and carbon dioxide of 44 gram. The masses are calculated by adding atomic masses of the element in a molecule, which are calculated by adding the atomic masses of the element in a molecule. So let us study what are the limitations of balanced chemical equation. If a balanced chemical equation has some limitations, what are they? The limitations are as follows. First, it does not give information about the physical state of the reactants and the product. What do you mean by physical states? What do you mean by the physical state? Physical states are solid, is the element or the molecule or the compound formed is a solid, liquid, gaseous and in a aqueous, okay, in a form of solution. So let us study what are the limitations here. So it does not give information about the physical state of the reactant and product. For example, the equation given below does not tell whether the substance involved in a chemical reaction is solid, liquid or gaseous or aqueous, AQ. So how is the above limitation overcome in a balanced equation? How is the limitations overcome? So to remove this difficulty or to overcome from this difficulty by putting symbols like S for solid, L for liquid, G for gases, for chemicals which react in solutions, which react in solution form, as symbol as aqueous is used. Following example will illustrate that CaCO3 is solid, this is aqueous, CaCl2 is aqueous, this is liquid, this is gaseous. So you know more about the balanced chemical equation now. So we have more two examples, you can study this example. Secondly, a balanced chemical equation does not tell whether chemical reaction has come to completion or not, means it is completed or not. Next, a balanced chemical equation does not tell anything about the speed of the reaction. The reaction's speed, at what speed does the reaction is taking part or taking place. For example, now we have one example here. The reaction between silver nitrate solution and sodium chloride, the second solution, silver nitrate and sodium chloride, completes in few seconds. It completes in few seconds. However, decomposition of lead or lead nitrates crystal take place in few minutes. It took more time as compared to this silver nitride and sodium chloride. Okay, let us make me sure that this is NaCl. It is written as NaCl. There is a mistake here. Okay, you have to write this A as this one. Clear? Now let us study fourth part. The fourth part is a balanced chemical equation does not tell us about the physical conditions. So the physical conditions which bring about the chemical reactions, they are: is heat energy is applied on the reaction? Is there any light energy? Is there any pressure? Is there any catalyst? What do you mean by a catalyst? Catalyst is a substance which does not take parts in a chemical reaction, but by its presence speed up the reaction, or it may less the speed of the reaction. Okay, catalyst is also given, etc. Thus limitation does not tell us about a balanced chemical equation. So how does it will above limitation overcome in a balanced chemical equation? The problem is partially solved by writing the condition of reaction on the arrow. So we use this type of arrow. Here are the reactants, here are the product placed. We write here and here about this condition. So we have one example here. You can see this example: N2 gas, 3H2 gas. See, this is written. Okay, atoms and degree Celsius temperature also, and formed this. So from the above equation we can say that one volume of nitrogen gas react with 3 volume of hydrogen gas under a pressure of 900 atmosphere at the temperature of 450 degrees Celsius in the presence of catalyst iron containing molybdenum. Okay, when a reversible reaction take place with the formation of 2 volumes of ammonium gas. See, there are 2 catalysts used. What is the atmospheric temperature there? 450 degrees Celsius. What is the pressure there? Okay, and how many atoms get conversion into ammonia? Okay, so here we resolve this also. Now, a balanced chemical equation does not tell us about change such as precipitation, change in the color, evolution of the heat, light and sound energy during the chemical changes. During a chemical, what do you mean by precipitation? Precipitate, to get, for example, if I put sand in water, it will get and be here only. Okay, if there any change in the color of the solution, if there is any heat, evolution of heat, light and etc. Clear? So let us study the next topic now. We have relative atomic masses, that means the weight of the atom or the atomic weight, and the molecular masses means the molecular weight, their molecular weight. So let us start introduction. An individual atom or a molecule is very small and light in weight. First of all, बहुत छोटा और वजन में भी, weight में भी कम, and hence it cannot be weighed directly. We have to solve their weight. We have to solve. Okay, by using indirect method, absolute mass of an atom was determined. It was formed that mass of one atom of hydrogen is 1.6735 into 10 raised to power minus 24 grams, and mass of one atom of oxygen is 26.454 into 10 raised to power minus 24 gram. As the above masses are very small, has inconvenient figure, therefore it was not possible to express the mass of an atom or molecules in grams. Therefore we do not use gram, we use some relative masses C. Thus to overcome this difficulty, the mass of the atom of the element, a molecule or a compound was related to the mass of the lightest atom, which are not considered in grams. The masses so obtained is called as relative masses. These masses are known as relative masses. So if I talk about the isotopes of hydrogen, hydrogen has 3 isotopes having same atomic number but different atomic mass number. So hydrogen atom being the lightest among the naturally occurring element, जितने भी नेचर में एलिमेंट्स आए हैं उनमें से सबसे वेट में जो कम है वो है हमारा हाइड्रोजन एटम, was initially chosen at the standard unit and mass of other atom or molecules were compared with it. However, adopting hydrogen as a standard unit mass ran into difficulty because it was discovered that hydrogen has, what was the difficulty? As I said, hydrogen has three isotopes, H11, H21, H31. Their relative atomic masses work out 1.008 rather than 1, means it has 0.008 more rather than being 1. Okay, this was the problem that occurred there. So thus the search started for some other standards. So they started for searching for some other method to resolve it, whose mass is 1 unit. Whose mass is 1 unit. It was found that the mass of the carbon atom is 12. The atom of carbon has 12. Thus 1/12 mass of the whole carbon atom is out of 1. Thus 1/12 of the carbon, 12, 6, you know, this is its element form, carbon. Isotope of carbon was chosen as the standard atomic mass for comparing atomic masses of each element. So let us study what do you mean by 1/12 part of it and what is the atomic mass unit now. Atomic mass unit, AMU. The atomic mass unit here is, so we have carbon here, it has atomic mass, atomic number. So the 12th of the mass of the isotope, you can see this 12th of a carbon is called as the atomic mass unit. This is known as the atomic mass unit. The atomic mass of carbon is 12 atomic mass unit. It must be remembered that atomic mass unit is only a number and has no units. Has no units. They don't have any units. So a term let us study about the atomic mass unit is relative atomic mass, known as ARAM, relative atomic mass, or atomic weight. The definition with respect to hydrogen is, it is a number that represents how many times one atom of element is heavier than one atom of hydrogen whose weight has been taken as unity in a unity. Okay, so see the second definition for it. See, definition with respect to 1/12 of this. So if the number that represent how many times one atom of an element is heavier than the 1/12 of the mass of the atom of the carbon, we use this formula. Rm is equal to mass of 1 unit of an element upon mass of 1/12 of an atom of carbon. Okay, the B part is gram atomic mass or gram atom. So the relative atomic mass of an element expressed in grams, which is expressed in grams, is known as gram atomic mass or gram atom. We have an example here as relative atomic mass of oxygen is 16 atomic mass unit. So gram atomic mass of 1 gram atom of oxygen is 16 gram. Directly we can solve it. Okay, we know the values. Secondly, relative molecular masses, RMM, or molecular weighted. Okay, first definition with respect to hydrogen, same. RMM is mass of one molecule of a substance with respect to mass of one atom of the hydrogen taken as in unity. Clear? Secondly, we have definition with respect to 1/12 of carbon atom. So mass of one molecule of carbon upon mass of the 1/12 of an atom of carbon, as it is given here. Okay, so these are the formulas which you have to learn for solving the equations, not the equations, but to form the equation in grams or to consider their weight. Clear? There are some relative masses of some elements of carbon atom given on a standard scale. These are they for aluminium, barium, bromine, calcium, carbon, chlorine, copper, chromium, helium, iron. It is given here. Okay, what is the relative atomic mass? What is the relative atomic mass? What is the relative atomic which is corrected to the whole number? Means if it is 26.98, it is converted into 27. 137.34 is 137. Okay, here also we have been given some. We have to just look at it. We have to study it hard. So we have one more topic here, how to calculate or the calculation of relative molecular mass and percentage composition of a compound. What is the percentage composition? So first of all, the percentage composition of an element in a compound can be determined if we know the molecular mass or unit formula mass and the atomic weight of the element. We want three things: molecular mass or the unit unit formula mass and the atomic weight. So M is the molecular mass, M is the molecular mass or the unit formula mass of a compound, and A is the atomic mass. A is the atomic mass. So we have the formula: sum of the atomic masses of the atom of element, sum upon molecular mass into 100. Okay, if there are having more atoms, so we have to use the sum, we have to add up it. Okay, however, if molecular masses and atomic masses are not given, if molecular mass and atomic masses are not given, instead is given the mass of the compound and the mass of element in it, the percentage composition can be calculated as follows. We have to use this formula: mass percentage composition of the element is equal to mass of the element upon mass of the compound into 100. W, small w is for mass of the element, capital W is for mass of the compound into 100. Okay, there is one example. Let us solve this example given below here. Okay, let us solve. The example is calculate the mass percentage composition of copper in copper sulfate. Copper is 64, sulfur is 32, oxygen is 16. Now we have one copper unit, one sulfur, one oxygen. 1 into 1 into 1 gives what? The same 160 atomic mass unit. Let us calculate the mass. That is what? Mass of oxygen, sorry, mass of the whole. We have copper unit as 64 into 100 upon 160. Okay, and we get as a percentage for 40%. You have one more example, but make sure while solving this type of example you know the atomic mass numbers. Clear? Okay, you have to solve this equation on your own, write it in your notebook. So we have RMM now, the numerical problem on molecular weight. How we calculate the molecular weight now? Calculate the molecular weight of the lead nitrate. Lead is 207, nitrogen 14, oxygen 16. Let us use lead nitrate, PbNO3 2. So we have 1 unit of lead, we have 2 units of nitrogen and 2 units of oxygen. So what it comes here is 2 unit and 2 3s are 6. Let us use these values and put it in. Okay, so if I add up, as I said, we have to use the additional, we have to use the sum of all it. So I got the value as RMM as 331 atomic mass unit. We have more problems here given. Okay, so let us go forward and see some problems. There is a practice problem. You studied this practice problem. The answers are also given. You have to calculate the values. You have been given this values here. You have to just calculate it. So we have more problems and etc. Exercise. Let us start with the exercise now. We have the definition for symbols as we started in the first lecture itself. Lecture 1, you can see we have symbols. Secondly, we have the qualitative and quantitative information. What do you understand by the term chemical formulas? What are the qualitative information given in this NH3 silver nitrate? What do I understand by the term valency? There is a 2-line definition given below, okay, in blue space. What do you understand by the term variable valency? What do you mean by variable valency named? Okay, state the valency and the formula, and the formulas which are of this salt. You have to just write this. Okay, and also make sure you write the name of the following compounds, give the name of the following masses. Okay, what do you mean by trivial names? What are trivial names, etc. What do you understand by the term chemical equations? Okay, these are the given some equations. Balance any 2 of it will be good for you. Balance these equations also. Okay, any 2 3 of it, more as you can do. Okay, you have to balance the chemical equations. You have been given the name of the equations. You have to write the formulas for the equations. Okay, what are the limitations of a chemical equation? You have to balance the chemical equations. In this exercise, many of the questions are related to balancing the chemical equations. Make sure you balance the chemical equations well. Okay, So as we completed this chapter, you have to go through the whole chapter from lecture 1 to lecture 4. You will know all the basic concepts and the formulas which are used as in chemical equations. We studied about symbols, valency, variable valency, how to balance an equations, how to form a chemical equations, what are their limitations, and much more. Okay, so there will be a class test in the next week as we completed this chapter. Okay, in the next week we will be conducting a class test. Till then you have to do what? You have to revise the whole chapter, write the answers, study the exercises. Okay, balance the chemical equations. Okay, we will meet you with the next lecture. Okay, till then stay safe, stay home. Thanks for